talked about, and that was he was mentioning the possibility that the top income tax rate for individuals would come down to 35%. Currently, it's supposed to be 38 or 39%. This will be a way of allowing people in high-tax states to mitigate the adverse effects of losing the state and local tax deduction. Bring it down to 35 as opposed to keeping it at 38. That gentleman right there is Dan Holler, Heritage Action for America Vice President. And, sir, I'd like your reaction to this discussion of bringing the top rate down to 35%. You'd love it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that we've seen throughout this process is that Republicans were put in a box. Some of that was because they have some members of the House and then members of the Senate that don't want sweeping rate reductions. Others are sort of the budget rules that they have to comply with. But in the course of this conference, if we're getting the marginal rates further down and we're not doing bad policy to cause that, that's an encouraging thing. And hopefully the conference makes the tax plan more pro-growth, let people keep more of their money. That would be a very good thing.
How about the corporate tax rate going to 22% for whatever reason? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things. If you are raising the corporate tax rate up from the 20% where it currently is in the bills, to make that go higher because you are having some sort of perverse incentives, maybe it's a state and local tax deduction coming back in some form or fashion, that's not great policy. We have to see where it shakes out. But there's concern here by going to conference, doing a lot of this stuff sort of that we get pieces of rumors on, is that we're making some bad trade-offs. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they're working to bring the rates down for everybody across the board without sacrificing some of the good policy gains that were made throughout the process.
Okay, Dan, we've got, what, roughly 3% growth in the economy right now. We've just got a pretty strong jobs report. We've got tax cuts that will kick in, we think, early next year, and an infrastructure plan coming. You think we can get to 4% growth next year?
I mean, certainly Gary Cohn seemed optimistic about it. The economy is in a good place right now, so hopefully we can get there. I'm a little bit concerned that I didn't hear Gary Cohn talk about the need to address Obamacare next year. If there's one thing that's going to hold back sort of economic prosperity and security for middle-class Americans, it's that Obamacare is going to continue to hang over their head. So I think we really have to get that addressed in the early part of next year if we want to see sustained growth and economic security in this country.
The individual mandate is going to go, isn't it? The individual mandate is going?
Yeah, the individual mandate is going to be wiped away in the tax bill, and that's a very good thing. The problem is that people were still going to be buying plans, or the only plans they're going to be left with to buy have these absurd regulations that Obamacare put on what insurance products could be that drive up costs. So you're making people, giving them the choice of buying plans that don't really fit what they need because insurers are not allowed to sell plans other than that. So that's a problem we have to address.
Okay, Dan Holler, we appreciate you being with us this morning. We'll look to next year and hope for 4% growth. Okay, Dan, thank you, sir. By the way, the Dow Industrials holding on to a 46-point gain for the Dow Industrials bottom.